Just under 2 years ago, Casemiro was the most memed player in the Premier League.
And there was a saying I always remember as a footballer: leave the football before the football leaves you. The football's left him.
Fast forward 2 years later, and he's arguably the best defensive midfielder in English football. He's doing everything for United: tackles, interceptions, and right now, Uncle Case has added goals to his collection. He's making his critics eat his words.
The football's left him. The middle part of his time at Manchester United was a little bit of a struggle for him, but there's no doubt he's bounced back, and it is now fair to say the football has not left him, considering what he's producing.
He's showing why, even in his United swan song, he was never the problem. He's showing now that even at 35, he's going to be a problem. Actually, it's more than that. Casemiro is becoming the Premier League's worst nightmare. He was sensational against Fulham. He completed 31 out of his 39 passes. He won 7 out of his 9 duels. He completed 7 passes into the final third, made 3 tackles and 3 recoveries, got the opening goal and made the assist for the second. What we'd just seen was a complete version of Casemiro, the midfielder who could do everything, the one United bought from Real Madrid in 2023. He'd rolled back the years against Fulham, but the truth is, he's been doing it for a while now. Think of this as the Casemiro Renaissance Tour, a player who this season has been reminding the rest of the league why he's been right up there with the very best for years now. At the start of the video, we mentioned Casemiro as arguably the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League, and that's saying a lot considering that it's the same league where players like Chelsea's Moises Caicedo and Arsenal's Declan Rice play. But this statement isn't without reason. It's because when it gets down to the crunch numbers, Casemiro has been rock solid. Versus Premier League midfielders on a per-90 basis this season, Casemiro ranks first for the most possession won, most interceptions, ranks second for the most headed goals, ranks third for the most forward pass ratio, and third for the most non-penalty XG. He's in the top 4 for forward passes and sliding tackles. These aren't just stats, they are outliers. Casemiro has been doing everything for United in midfield. He's putting in tackles, he's again making interceptions, he's scoring goals and setting up goals, he's covering spaces. That's the standard for a top-level midfielder in his position. Casemiro hasn't let it drop. Yet somehow, he's gotten even better under Michael Carrick. His numbers under the new United manager are impressive. 3 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 2 Man of the Match awards. Carrick had changed the shape at United. He's now gone to a 3-man midfield with 2 at the base and 1 playing as an attacking number 10. Kobbie Mainoo is in the team now, and while he has been getting his fair share of the praise, it's still Uncle Case that's doing the heavy lifting. He's a big part of this United team now. The fact is, they aren't the same without him. For context, United have conceded 18 goals with Casemiro on at an average of 86 minutes per 90. When Casemiro hasn't played, that rate drops to 34 minutes per 90. The point? With Casemiro, United look safer. They concede less. Without Casemiro, they lack an experienced leg to plug the holes in midfield. They concede more. Just before we continue on Casemiro though, there's a hype button just down your screen. If you click that, you'll help us at Matchday Moments reach a wider audience with more quality content like this. Thanks. This season, under both Carrick and even Amorim before Casemiro, has already produced his best scoring season at United, even with a bulk of the campaign to play. 4 league goals in his first season in 2022-23. 0.1 goal the following season. Another goal last season. 5 league goals as of recording this so far. It all comes down to the fact that Casemiro right now is a man on a mission.
But we're going to start with the news that Casemiro is leaving Manchester United at the end of the season. It broke
He would have known even before he dropped the announcement. A few weeks back, Casemiro announced that he wouldn't be renewing his contract at United and that this season would be his last. The tributes followed, an outpouring of emotions from both his current teammates and the previous ones. But for Casemiro, this wasn't just a farewell. It was his chance to use the final 6 months to redeem himself and create a new identity in the league. It's working now. At 35, Casemiro ranks third for the most goals amongst United players. He ranks first for the most goals scored from headers for United this season. His 53 tackles are the most on the team. He's second in terms of possession won in the final third, second for duels won. Again, he's 35. He's not supposed to be putting up numbers this impressive. This is clearly a man on a mission. A man his new manager can't get enough of. Honestly, it just looks like good vibes between the duo. And rightly so. They played similar positions in their playing careers, and maybe that's why it's easy for Carrick to get the best out of Casemiro now, the fact that he too used to play in that position and knows what it means. He doesn't have to repeatedly explain to Casemiro. He too is a midfielder who knows the role, and so what Carrick has done is play a system where Casemiro has more protection. Think about it like this. Under Ruben Amorim, United played a midfield duo that was most times Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. As talented as they are, the problem here is that United seemed too easy to play against, too open. Bruno Fernandes, for all he is, isn't the typical complete midfielder, especially with the defensive aspect of slide tackles and interceptions. When Bruno got exposed, it meant most times Casemiro had to try to be Superman, try to cover as many gaps in the team as possible. It's why pundits like Jamie Carragher made the statements about his legs being gone, because in Amorim's setup, it didn't feel like Casemiro could cover as many gaps as he needed to. The difference now is that under Michael Carrick, United have a new shape.
The Ruben Amorim is that you've got players in a position like that, in that they're creating little diamonds, not just triangles, diamonds, extra numbers in that shape, and then other teams get sucked into that.
It's not just a midfield duo or forming trios in midfield. There's a diamond shape for United. Under Carrick, the idea is to have players connecting as much as they can with each other. They play closer to each other, and particularly with the formation, it's a 4-2-3-1 when attacking that turns into a 4-4-2 when defending. It's important to mention this, because the idea here is that when United defends, they defend by shuffling threats out wide under Amorim. A winger, one of the two pivots, a centre-back and a full-back on one side and the same on the other side. That way, Casemiro doesn't have to try to be Superman in covering gaps. The workload becomes easier with a player like Kobbie Mainoo now. A player who is more in terms of a defensive mindset, but also has the technical ability to progress the ball forward. It's almost as if it's just now that the rest of the league is starting to appreciate his quality. He's won more duels and made more tackles than any other player at the club since he joined in 2023. And while the stats back him, there's something even more impressive about Casemiro that makes him a danger to the rest of the league. It's his mindset.
One of the things that I was told when I was there the other day as well about him, which I wasn't surprised about, but it's telling for young players to listen to, is that he was sub for a while in this team. And he said, just tell me what I need to do to get in the team.
Considering what he's won, that is crazy.
Tell me what I need to do to get in a team and I'll do it. And here we are now, and he's one of the most integral players in the team again.
This story hits hard because of how true it is. After his adjudged fall-off and getting dropped from the team, Casemiro could have easily called it quits or decided to cancel on the project. He could have walked out on United. After all, he wouldn't have been the first superstar name to attempt this at the club. Instead, Casemiro chose to fight for his place at United. He remained humble and asked for what he could to become a starter on the team again. He showed the same hunger as he did back in his Madrid and Porto days. That's the mindset and the mentality that separates the best from the rest. That's the mindset that makes Casemiro one of the best defensive midfielders United have had in recent years. The fact that even at his age, even with everything he has won and achieved in his career, he still wants to fight for his place in the team. Right now, Casemiro has a new mission at United.
Yes, good show recently. And I think, Rob, he'll help in the next, 16 games to develop Kobbie Mainoo and teach him a little bit of what it is to be a midfield player.
He knows that his time is up, and so right now it's about training the next generation at United. Playing alongside Kobbie Mainoo in midfield, now Casemiro could make it his job to help Mainoo gain that experience at the top level. To be fair, he makes an excellent role model too. I mean, his CV and the career he's had so far is sensational. It's the same with his United career too. 35 goal involvements in 148 games in all competitions for Manchester United. 22 goals and 13 assists, a Carabao Cup winner and an FA Cup winner. He's come to United and tried to maintain a consistent level even with the chop and change nature of the club. He was a starter under Erik ten Hag for most parts. He was a starter under Ruben Amorim for most parts. And this says a lot, considering that the club bought Manuel Ugarte as a possible Casemiro replacement. A player they deemed as Casemiro, but being more mobile and with more legs. Casemiro had ended up keeping his replacement out of the team. He's now starting under Michael Carrick, and there's no bias about this. He's more than earned his spot on the team. Casemiro is world-class, 35 goals and assists as a defensive midfielder. The most tackles and interceptions per 90 since he joined the club. Different managers, but he still found ways to make each United setup. Just years ago, he was getting written off. Now he's a big part of that team. There is no denying now that a tempo drops as soon as Casemiro goes out or doesn't start. United looked in danger as soon as Casemiro was subbed off, and that's how Fulham scored 2 late goals to level it before Sesko's winner. He's so good now that there's a noticeable change when he plays and doesn't play. United will struggle to replace him, there's no doubt. Names like Carlos Baleba have been touted as the future, but that's just United taking a gamble on what they believe could happen. Truth is, right now, Casemiro has the league on lock from the 6. A 35-year-old at the peak of his English career. Casemiro has proven himself now. He's turning doubters into fans. But now the big question is, can he maintain that from now until the end of the season? Or is this just a man playing in a new system that hasn't been found out yet? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hype this video and subscribe to Matchday Moments as well.